thanks for coming in today.
Oh yeah, no problem. I'm actually really excited.
Awesome, I'm glad to hear that. Is there anything that I can get you to make you more comfortable? Maybe some coffee or tea, water?
Tea sounds amazing. Thank you.
Just 1 second.
Okay. Thank you.
You're very welcome. So before we get started, I just wanted to go over some confidentiality rules.
Mm-hmm.
You did read through my professional disclosure, so you do know all the legal jargon stuff. But I did want to go over the part where we talk about, so if you present a serious danger to yourself or others, if you were abused at all at any point, or if you have knowledge of that and tell that to me, I'm going to have to report that.
Okay.
Okay? So
I understand.
That is just the limit of confidentiality, okay? So, now that you're here, will you tell me a little bit about yourself?
Well, I graduated college in 2014, and it seems like a long time ago, and I thought I would have a higher degree by now. But, you know, I'm taking life kind of easy, and taking a break from school is really, really nice, and I really like taking a break from school. But I'm also looking at my paycheck and thinking, you know, I deserve more money than this.
Right.
And I want a higher education because that means, you know, more money, which would be nice, you know, and I'm willing to put in the work for that.
Right.
I am just, I'm not really stuck in my break, but I am enjoying it a lot.
Right.
And I'm reconsidering, you know, my career options, and I want to do something in the professional field within education, and specifically special needs education.
Okay.
And I'm not really sure what. Like, I was thinking music therapy, and now I'm kind of leaning toward anything else. I don't really care.
Okay.
At this point.
Right.
I'm convincible, and I'm looking maybe to do 2 to 4 more years of school, full-time, part-time, whatever it takes, to get it done. And I'm willing to start within the next couple of years. I'm not really in a huge time constraint.
Okay, so what I'm hearing is that money is really a motivating factor for you at this point in your life. That's correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. And, you know, you are willing to put in the work to get to that next tier in your education to make that money. So you did mention that your career interests right now lie in special education. Is that correct?
Yes.
Right. What has really drawn you to that field, do you think?
Well, my personal experiences, starting with the preschoolers, I loved it. And then I didn't realize, or I realized how much I didn't love it. And then I went up to a little bit older kids, and I just love it so much. They're so cute, and working with them all year long. And now I'm into my second year with the same class is just like,
oh, wonderful.
It's super rewarding, yeah.
What do you enjoy most about that position?
I enjoy, just seeing the growth over time. And the consistency that I'm able to bring, and watching them grow with what we're working on them with at that time.
Okay. So what kind of things are you working on in the classroom with these kids?
For a lot of the kids, we're working on the teeth scraper sound, and just being like, that's a teeth scraper, and getting them to say it, and, you know, just sounds like old sounds. And one kid has shown a lot of growth with that, and, you know, every day he says, I would like school lunch, and it just makes my heart swell. Just little things like that, like little life skills, helping them like regulate, to stay calm, or knowing when they're too excited, stuff like that. I think that's what I enjoy most, so seeing the small changes that end up being larger changes over time. I love being a part of that.
Well, I'm glad to hear that you found something that you are connecting with right now. But, obviously you're not making what you want to right now. Mm-hmm. So, moving forward to the bigger next thing for you mm-hmm. is what we're looking to do here. So is this the only job that you have had after graduation from college, or did you have jobs previously?
Yeah, pretty much is the only job I had. I was a substitute aide for our school system, mm-hmm. and then there was one person that was permanently out, so I got hired in her spot. She was put on disability or something. And so that's how I started working in the preschool, and I worked there for an entire year. Mm-hmm. And that's how I got to know our school system, our district is really, really cool. And I like it, and I forgot the question. What was the question again?
So is this the only job that you've had?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is the answer.
When it comes down to it, yes, you worked as a substitute aide, but...
It's grown.
Yes, yeah. You were placed into a more permanent position.
Yeah.
And you also mentioned that you have a degree?
Yes, I do have a degree. I got my Bachelor of Arts in General Music Studies at Humboldt State University in mm-hmm. 2014.
And are you utilizing that?
A bit, here mm-hmm. and there, in extracurricular activities.
Okay.
Like outside of work a bit. But I am really happy I went through ear training mm-hmm. and I'm able to match pitch a little bit, because we have one student right now who is the biggest handful of them all, and he has really awesome pitch, believe it or not, and he loves it when we can sing. And so I sing to him to calm him down. So that's really nice.
Can I just stop you for a second? Mm-hmm. Can you explain to me what ear training is?
Yeah, ear training is where you take, it's a 4-semester class. Mm-hmm. You have to take it for 2 years, and it's where you go in and you listen to melodies played on the piano and you mm-hmm. dictate them. And there's a singing portion where you sing melodies that are in a book, and you sing them for a quiz, and then there's also a rhythm portion. And you slowly build up your skills to where you can be better at music, mm-hmm. for lack of better terms. Yeah, so I can hear a pitch, and now I know, like, if I'm in tune or not, like mm-hmm. if I'm with the pitch or, above or below, or like just knowing like kind of basic musical things is helping me mm-hmm. Listen to him and interpret it, and helping him with some song structure. It's kind of song structure, yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's really fun.
Yeah.
So it's nice.
Is that something that you want to include in your future career, music?
I would like to, but I've looked a lot into music therapy, mm-hmm. and at that level it seems a little too much, but I'd like to maybe at a lower level, just at my own pace.
Okay. So it's not out of the picture entirely?
Definitely not.
Okay. And so, before we met today, you did take the ONET Interest Profiler. Mm-hmm. How did you like taking that assessment?
That was good. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like a lot of stuff, and I could see myself being interested in doing a mm-hmm. lot of things.
Right.
But when it comes down to it, I think, my interests and what I'm really good at, I could technically do a lot, but I want to hone it in a little bit more. So I did enjoy it, but I know I'm interested in a lot, but I want to focus on education.
Okay, so that's your main goal.
Yeah, to work somewhere in the education area.
So let's go over your results from that assessment, so you have an idea of your interests, really, as we move into exploring more diverse career options for you.
Okay.
Okay? So, The interest profiler gives you 6 different interest ratings.
Mm-hmm.
Your lowest was in what's called realistic, and you scored a 6. And people with realistic interests like work that includes practical, hands-on problems and answers. Often people with realistic interests do not like careers that involve paperwork or working closely with others. They do like working with plants and animals, real-world materials like wood tools and machinery, and outside work.
Okay.
Do you feel like that's an accurate representation
Yeah.
of your interests being scored on the lower scale? All right, and then next higher was conventional, and you scored 18 on that.
Okay.
People with conventional interests like work that follows set procedures and routines. They prefer working with information and paying attention to details rather than working with ideas. So they do like working with really clear rules and following a strong leader. How do you feel about your score for that one?
That's fine.
Yeah.
I like rules.
You do, but it's not something that you say, yeah, rules.
Oh, no, rules can be broken.
Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
And then next step was artistic. You have a degree in the arts,
That
so
makes sense, yeah.
And you did score 20 on that one. People with artistic interests like work that deals with the artistic side of things, such as acting, music, art, and design.
Mm-hmm.
So, accurate representation of yourself. While it isn't in your top 3, it is still relatively close to the next one on your score report, which is investigative, and you score 23 for that one. People with investigative interests like work that has to do with ideas and thinking rather than physical activity or leading people. They like searching for facts, figuring out problems.
Yep.
Yeah?
I like
That
those
sounds
things.
like you?
Yep.
Cool.
Interested in those.
And then also, score of 23 was in social.
Okay.
People with social interests like working with others to help them learn and grow. They like working with people more than working with objects, machines, or information. They like teaching, giving advice, helping, and being of service to people.
That's me.
That's your second highest one, right there with investigative.
Okay.
And then your highest score was in enterprising. So people with enterprising interests like work that has to do with starting up and carrying out business projects. These people like taking action rather than thinking about things. They do like persuading and leading people, making decisions, taking risk for profits. So how do you feel about enterprising being your highest score?
I like it, except for the first fact, having it being about a business.
Mm-hmm.
I can have it be about a project or something, but I don't really see myself as a businesswoman.
Mm-hmm.
You know, even though I have my own home business,
Right.
that's something that I want to do, you know, for the next little part of my life. But I like everything else about that except that it's for businesses, because I feel like businesses is kind of a boring thing.
Right.
I'd rather get out there and work with people instead of being a business,
Okay.
on the business side of things.
So it does also mention that people with enterprising interests like to persuade and lead people. Do you feel like you have strong leadership skills?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you like making decisions as a leader?
I love it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then taking risks for profits. I mean, you said that money is a big motivator for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that could be something to take into consideration.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. That makes sense.
So, branching off of your interests here, the ONA Interest Profiler does something interesting in that it breaks down the different jobs that it matches you with. into job zones, or what they're called.
Okay.
So, job zone 1 requires little or no preparation. So, you graduate from high school, you can go out and get a job.
Okay.
Job zone 2 even falls under that category. As you start to get into job zone 3, 4, and 5, they're going to need college degrees, master's degrees, PhD, or MDs.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
more what I'm interested in.
The PhD, MD?
More like, let's start with the master's and see where it goes.
So the master's. So really we'd be looking more at like job zone 4 for that.
I think so.
So that would require high preparation. So long-term work-related skill, knowledge, or experience would be needed for a career in job zone 4.
Okay.
For example, an accountant must complete 4 years of college and work several years in the field to be qualified for the job. And then both on-the-job and classroom job training can come into play as well.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Yeah, you could even branch into job zone 5 here too. So when we start looking at the careers that you want to pursue, I'm going to assign you homework tonight. Okay, so the next time we come back, I want you to have thought about which jobs within job zone 4 and job zone 5 that we want to look at in more depth.
Okay.
So that we can start to hone in on, you know, those interests that you have and the strengths that you have, and where we can build that career path.
Okay.
Okay? So do you have any questions about your homework or anything that we've discussed today?
So for my homework, do I need to look up like specific degree requirements?
So actually, with these job zones, they're going to create a career path for you.
Okay.
So it will tell you exactly what you need to do
Okay.
to get that job,
Oh.
education-wise.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. That's something really neat that the ONET Interest Profiler does for you.
Oh, that's
Is it creates that unique job path for you to follow, and then you just basically need to follow it the best you can, and then see where you go from there.
Okay, I can do that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, Monica, it was a pleasure meeting with you today, and if you need anything in the meantime, you can send me an email.
Okay.
But until next time.
Okay, thank
Thanks
you
so
so
much.
much.
Have a good night.
Yeah, you too.
Did it stop?